Alright guys, now that we have had some time to think about and kind of digest the Lakers win over Denver, how they looked against them, both offensively and defensively, the way they matched up with them, and with Nikola Jokic at that, really containing him and the Nuggets' really lethal offense, and then most importantly, how Luka-Doncic looked, kind of having his breakout game as a Laker, really meshing well with LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and the entire Laker offense, and simply how good they looked against a top-tier contender. I think the biggest takeaway from it still happens to be that, wow, the Lakers are a lot better than we thought, and definitely could be a top-tier contender, if not one of the top-tier contenders in the entire league. Now, we obviously have a long ways to go yet, and I imagine there will be plenty of overreactions along the way, plenty more "the season is over" tweets. I mean, unfortunately, that does tend to happen after every Laker loss, and you gotta expect that, it comes with the territory. But again, I think the main takeaway from this is that the Lakers have a good team, maybe a great team, and with Luka Doncic now being back to his old self and getting back to that, I mean, the guy went to the NBA Finals not even a year ago. If he can get back to that level, maintain that level, then this Laker team definitely could be dangerous, and we're going to talk about what they have showed to prove that, not only against Denver, but throughout the past month now, both with and without Luka Doncic on the court, their depth, their defense, and a whole lot more with it. So we're going to talk about that and break it all down. But real quick before we get too far into it, if you are new around here, and many of you are, so first of all, welcome. If you want more NBA content from me and non-Lakers content, I do have a second channel for that called JSM Plus, or then if you want clips from me, both from my main channel and my second channel, along with additional short content along the way, then be sure to check out JSM Clips. There will be a link for both of them in the video description down below. But now getting back to our topic. And again, if we're talking about the Lakers, or pretty much any team for that fact, we gotta start at the very top. And well, that obviously comes with guys like LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves. More so Luka and LeBron, but I think at this point we can put Austin in that top 3 category with them. I mean, the guys have been playing great for their team lately, both prior to Luka Doncic coming to their team and then thereafter as well, and this kind of actually became their first game where all 3 of them played well together. Not only Luka Doncic with a 32-point, 10-rebound double-double game, playing very well offensively and even defensively at that, making some great defensive plays and even an emphatic block on Aaron Gordon, but then for LeBron James tacking in 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, only 1 turnover, and actually letting Luka Doncic be the primary ball handler, kind of the quarterback quote-unquote to LeBron's tight end or wide receiver, and then Austin Reeves being that great third option for them, finally finding a good timeshare with them. You know, LeBron playing off the ball more, Luka being the primary ball handler, Austin being the secondary ball handler, and even more so when Luka is off the court, finding a better timeshare between them, and that led to Austin chipping in with 23 points, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, 4 rebounds, knocking down 4 3-point shots, and being his normal efficient self when he does get ball handling duty. And well, simply put, if they can or do get that from those 3 on a regular basis, or even a somewhat regular basis, then good luck to everybody else. I mean, we're talking about Luka Doncic putting up 30 points per game, and yes, he can do that for an entire season, not only a 1-game sample, but last season putting up about 32 points per game in 65 games, does have the ability to do it, definitely not a one-time thing. Even if you're new to watching him and only a Laker fan, have not watched much of Luka Doncic, yes, he can do this on an every game basis. Then with LeBron tacking in about 25 points per game, being an absolute freight train yet at even 40 years old, playing good defense off and on, and being a very versatile player for them. Then with Austin Reeves tacking in about 20 points per game, 5 to 7 assists per game, and being that great third option, great secondary ball handler, and all around the guy to fill in around the edges for them. Yeah, that's a dangerous trio combination and something that's really hard for opponents to contain. I mean, good luck for opponents trying to stop one of them, let alone all 3 of them, and that's a very dangerous, if not the most dangerous part of the entire team. But okay, great. Talking about those 3, you're talking about a lot of offense, and not always a lot of defense, sometimes, but usually not for the most part, and if you're a hater, you're probably going to bring up defense here. And well, I hate to break it to you, but they're pretty damn good on defense here as well. You know, those 3 when they want to be, but talking more about as a team here, they've been pretty good on defense, not only in their last game against Denver, which they're absolutely great on defense, but even for about the past month and a half now at that. Whether you're talking about prior to the Anthony Davis-Luka Doncic trade or after it, they've been very good on defense. During their past 18 games now, they have been the #1 rated defense in the entire NBA, sporting a defensive rating of 107.8, again number 1 in the entire league. And then to go along with that, holding their opponent to a field goal percentage of only about 43%, number 1 in the league again. Holding their opponent to only about 102 points per game, number 1 once again. Holding their opponents to only about 40 rebounds per game, and that's in total, not offensive or defensive, but total rebounds per game. And once again, top of the entire league in that category too. So whether you're talking about defense from the 3-point line, around the post, or then containing and actually winning the rebound battle, the Lakers have been very effective on defense, very effective at containing and limiting their opponent. Whether it be a team like Denver, or maybe a different team like Boston, New York, they played all of them in that 18-game sample, and all around it's been very impressive sample for them on defense. I mean, I know you might not think of defense when you take a look at their team's starting lineup. You know, a combination of Luka-Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and Jackson Hayes, not that great defensively. But then off the bench of their team, you got guys like Jared Vanderbilt, an absolute pest on defense, a guy that can truly defend 1 through 5, and he showed that in their game against Denver, matching up with everyone from Jamal Murray all the way down to Nikola Jokic, and being an absolute pest and bothering him at times too. Then to a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, the absolute perfect role player for your team, a 3-and-D role player, great defender, great energy guy, and all around the kind of role player you want in your team. Then to a guy like Gabe Vincent, a very good pesky point of attack defender, and sometimes a very good 3-point shooter, which he has been for the majority of the past 3 months now, shooting about 39% in that time frame. Even to a guy like Jordan Goodwin, you know, if you're a casual fan you might not have heard of him, but a very effective defender, a very effective rebounding guard on top of that, and yet another energy guy for their team off the bench. He's been playing big minutes to their team, playing important 4th quarter minutes to their team, and again another good defender on their team and another guy you gotta watch out for. And I know, some people are still gonna say, well, they don't have a center and therefore they don't have a good team. And well, I guess you haven't been watching Jackson Hayes. I mean, maybe not the best center in the entire league, but a very viable starter at this point in their starting lineup, and prior to the trade and after the trade, a combination of both. In 13 games starting for their team, they have a record of 10-3 with him, and in those 13 games, Hayes put up about 7.5 points per game, shooting a team-high 69.4% from the field, grabbing about 6 rebounds per game, about 2 assists per game, over 1 block per game, all around being very effective on both ends of the court, and yes, actually looking like a legit center for their team, or any team for that fact. Gotta give the guy credit, he stepped up big for their team post Anthony Davis trade, and has been a great fit for Luka-Doncic, being the perfect lob threat for him, a great pick and roll partner for him, and LeBron James and Austin Reeves for that fact. And then on defense, simply not getting the credit that he truly deserves. Post Anthony Davis trade, he has been a very reliable and effective rim protector for them. Not only that, but a defender in general, switching on defense, playing better team defense, not fouling nearly as much, and overall being a fairly reliable and effective defender as well. Even rating as an A+ defender or A+ rim protector per some defensive metrics. And while I don't love their center depth behind him, don't get me wrong, Trey Jemison has shown good moments, Christian Koloko has shown good moments, maybe Alex Len could eventually show some good moments, but not too high on that one for them. But simply put, they've shown that they don't really need it. I mean, if they can take on a matchup with Nikola Jokic and a team like the Denver Nuggets with no backup center on the court, only playing Hayes and no other real center quote-unquote on the court, having a combination instead of Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura play at center for them, and no, not in a traditional sense, but more so a combination, and not having a single guy play at center for their team. You know, it might be Rui Hachimura on one play, it might be LeBron on one play, it might be Dorian Finney-Smith on one play, taking on that center matchup, but at the end of the day, it'll be a different defensive scheme to cover up for it, and then take advantage of that center on the other end of the court. Whether it be in transition offense, they really ran Jokic off the court in that game, or a different center, pushing the pace, not allowing them to keep up, and doing different things to attack them that they really can't do with a different, more traditional center on the court. And from that standpoint, they don't entirely need one, and I think they're completely fine with what they have right now. And no matter what way you look at it, they have a much better and much more well-rounded team than many give them credit for. Yes, we all know about Luka-Doncic, LeBron James, and even Austin Reeves for the most casual fan at this point, but then behind them guys like Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, all of them have been great rotational players to them and providing value in different ways in the court that not many are giving them credit for, or at least not nearly enough in my opinion. And well, put all that together and you have a very dangerous Lakers team. one with plenty of offensive firepower, obviously with Luka-Doncic and LeBron James, but then even with guys like Austin Reeves, again a walking 20 plus point per game guy and a very good efficiency. Then with guys like Rui Hachimura as well, even Dalton Connect, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith with 3-point shooting, very well-rounded offensive attack and plenty of guys that can hurt you. Then defensively, like we talked about, the best defense in the past month here, taking on and really limiting one of the best offenses during the past month, that being the Denver Nuggets, and having the reigning MVP with him, Nikola Jokic, holding him to only 12 points on some very poor efficiency and 6 turnovers with it. I think they're pretty proven defensively. And with guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, even Jordan Goodwin being great to elite defenders, then with other guys that can definitely chip in like Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, even Luka Doncic and LeBron, and even Austin Reeves at times too, they have plenty of defensive firepower and, again, simply a well-rounded team that can hurt you in many different ways. And with that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Lakers post-Denver Nuggets game, and how high or how far this team's ceiling might be able to go? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.